Hello YouTube and welcome to today's episode of Disappointed Dragon. It's been a little while, but we're back to construction toys. Still technically a knockoff construction toy, although it is a branded knockoff construction toy. This is the G.I. Joe Cobra Fang construction set. G.I. Joe being another franchise that came around at the same time as the Transformers. Not one that I have as much memory of. I never really got into it as heavily as I did Transformers. I did really enjoy the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover comics, and I do remember an animated movie that came out for G.I. Joe called Valor vs. Venom that I was really excited to watch, but I seem to recall it wasn't actually very good. But I really did like Cobra Commander, and he is still my favorite character. They've actually show his figure here. This is the version I like, the one with the reflective like faceplate. Not as big a fan of the one that's just got like the cloth face covering. Compatible with other brands. It means Lego. So we get one Lego figure, one mini figure, sorry, and it's 47 pieces. And they had they actually had a fairly large collection of them. They had Snake Eyes, and I don't remember all of their names, actually. I don't remember any of their names now that I come to think of it. They had Snake Eyes. They had the enemy of Snake Eyes, the other ninja. Oh, they had the big metal guy. I think his name was like Destructo or something like that. I don't remember. There's a villain who went along with Cobra Commander who was like made of steel. And then there was another person, I think she was called the Baroness. It's, like I said, didn't watch it too much. You got the Cobra Rattler, the Cobra Ferret, the Hiss Tank, and the Night Raven. Cobra Enemy. Okay. I wonder if these are all stickers or if this is all stamped on. I don't know. Forever Clever. I like that. Oh, it's Hasbro. Okay, that makes sense. G.I. Joe does kind of hold on to... I think it's been with Hasbro pretty much always. Not 100% sure. But without too much more time being wasted, we're going to open this up and get to work. It only has 47 pieces. I don't know that I'm going to speed this one up. I might just build it on camera because that's not a lot of pieces. Not a lot of pieces at all. It's not a lot of pieces. Oh, geez. That's a lot of stickers, though. Look at that. There's a lot of stickers on the sticker sheet. I don't know that I have the patience to put on those stickers. Also, it doesn't actually tell you where to put the stickers. You just kind of have to figure that out for yourself, I guess. All right. How could you do this? How could you do this, Hasbro? Usually so good. Well, oh. And the figure doesn't come together. Jeez, this is interesting. I wonder if this is like a subsidiary of Hasbro, because it feels like this is not up to the... Oh, well, it is... Hasbro doesn't have a construction toy brand now that I come to think of it. Like, you'd think they would have by now, but maybe they just don't. Okay. Well, first impressions are the quality's not great. I don't know if you can see that, but he's got a nose. Can you see that? Let's see if I zoom in a bit. He's got a nose, a molded on nose, which is very strange. Come on. I don't like that. We're going to turn it so that you can't see the nose. That's better. Featureless face like he's supposed to have. As I've said before, I don't like it when you have to put the entire minifigure together because it usually takes more strength than... That's very naughty. Look at that. Look at that large amount of sprue. Where is the quality control, Hasbro? Although, to be fair, some of those other blind packages we opened that were Hasbro branded were not great. Not great at all. Yeah, the quality of this is not fantastic. The plastic is... it's not brittle, because it hasn't shattered or anything so far. But it's also not great. It feels cheap. It looks kind of cheap. You can kind of tell. I don't know if it comes across in the video, but you can see it's got heavy molding lines. And it just doesn't feel very good. Yeah, that doesn't feel great. Although it is Cobra Commander. I'll give it that. I do like that. I do like Cobra Commander. Well, let's see how the actual pieces themselves stick together, because that is where we would judge it. The actual pieces themselves don't feel as bad. I've definitely had far worse stuff, like that Minecraft stuff that will never see the light of day again, because I threw it in the trash. I think I kept their heads, though, if I recall. I think I kept the heads of those minifigures to put into my box of miscellaneous parts for the purposes of perhaps building with later. Very simple instructions so far. The pieces, again, they look and feel cheap, but not so cheap that I would worry that they would, like, fall apart. I'm not worried about them shattering. I don't think there'd be any issues if I wanted to build something a little bit more complicated with them later. But that being said, I still don't think that they're particularly good quality. The one issue I do have with some of these knockoff sets, especially when they're cheaper, is if they... Look at all that sprue. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a big ol'... Come on. Come on. It's a big old piece of sprue there. When you build it with the less skookum pieces, they just kind of... You gotta engineer it so that it's a little bit more sturdy, because as you can see like that, it just fell apart in my hands because the bits are only held together by 1 or 2 studs in places, and that's not gonna stay secure. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. I'll wait until the end to see for sure. Maybe they'll put in some redundancies to make it a bit more secure, but from the look of the design, I kind of have doubts on that score. Yeah, it's not great. It is coming apart quite a bit on me. It's definitely not really holding together very well. Well, it is going together at least. I'll give it that. Oh, do you know what it does lose points on, though? This is not a spinning propeller. It doesn't actually spin. It's just attached on a peg for show. I know that that would have been an easy thing to do. It might have looked a bit more clunky, but it definitely would have worked. There's no need for it to not have a spinning rotor. Well, it's together. I think I paid quite a bit for this. It was like $4, maybe $5. Definitely paying for the branding, the G.I. Joe name. I'm not sold. I'm definitely not sold. You get a lot of stickers, which I actually think are pretty cool, because I like the Cobra symbols that you can stick on some things. That's pretty neat. The vehicle itself is pretty meh. I mean, it's just... It is indicative of G.I. Joe. This is the kind of vehicle you would get with the actual G.I. Joe figures, like a little personal helicopter that you could fly around and put your figures in. So the design is definitely there, and it looks... You can tell it's supposed to be the vehicle in the illustration here. Quite clearly, it's that vehicle. But the quality of the bits is severely lacking, and because of that, I'm not super sold on it because it doesn't feel name brand to me. It feels like a knockoff brand. And as you can see, as I try to put even just Cobra Commander in it, bits are falling off. I mean, it is nice to have something, related to that franchise. Also, there's all these extra pieces. They're not extra. I just didn't follow the instructions. That one's on me. There we go. And you know what? We're going to put that there. There we go. All right. That's all it needed. Those 2 slant pieces to make it perfect. No, it's definitely not great. We've definitely had much better knockoff construction toys that cost considerably less. I'm not super sold on this. For $5 with a set this small, I would have expected a bit better, just better quality. That tank one I got was a little bit more than this, and that one was much nicer. Although I do have to say that I will be keeping Gold Cobra Commander here, because even though he's not great quality, I just like Cobra Commander. He was my favorite thing about that character. There's just something about that franchise. There's just something about his design that I always liked. Also, what's kind of weird? Look at his arms. They're almost at a right angle. They're bent far more dramatically than a regular figures would be. That's very interesting. That'll do it for this episode, guys. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.